there, I'm Rebecca Rios, and today I'm going to talk to you about creating a safe speaking environment for your students. It can be hard sometimes for teachers to make the time for speaking practice in lessons. They may feel it is only practicing what has been previously learned, but research shows that speaking in the classroom creates whole new learning opportunities and can significantly develop a learner's progress. Speaking practice is a really valuable way for students to develop their conversational competence, use appropriate rather than just accurate language, deepen their understanding of difficult concepts, expand their analytic abilities, push each other beyond their current individual capacities, and learn to play with language and take risks with it. Through actual classroom talk, students start to experience what it might feel like to be able to live in and through their emerging language, which is closely connected to motivation for learning in general. So how can you, as teachers, create a safe speaking environment? The first thing is immersive conversation. Conversations which students will want to join, not simply because they need to practice the language, but because they feel they have something important to say. These are conversations that enable students to use language to relate to one another through shared challenge, laughter, wonder, creativity, but also in discussing injustices and misconceptions that affect them in their world outside the classroom. Some tasks that encourage immersive conversation are solving a problem, discussing an issue, narrating a story, sharing options and experiences, and making things. Here are some other examples of tasks that engage students on different levels. Engage personal identities. Ask students to think of an interesting proverb in other languages they know. Teach it to their peers. Translate it collaboratively into English. Find equivalents in English, as well as in students' other home languages. And notice how history and culture can shape how we speak, how we see, and how we live. Another idea is to engage students with the world around them. Language learners working collaboratively to produce audio descriptions of actions, facial expressions, and scenery for short clips of popular movies such as The Hunger Games or The Minions in order to make these video clips accessible to blind and visually impaired viewers. You can also use engaging topics. Of course, there is no fail-safe list of topics that will engage every class in the world, but research has given us some useful principles for what tends to work best. If you use learners' lives and experience as input, they might get more involved. Also, center around the topic that students are passionate about, and link the content to a real-world context, outcome, or application. Research has also shown that students enjoy more meaningful learning experiences when they are in charge of their own language learning. Also, when their motivation is generated from within rather than through an external reward. And when they are given opportunities to make the learning material their own. So including tasks that give learners agency as well as learner-centered topics is an important step towards creating safe speaking environments. Peer interactions. Peer interactions are an opportunity for learners to try out new language without the fear of making mistakes, to take risks and to challenge and push one another in ways that facilitate language development. But these positive outcomes do not happen automatically. There are a lot of things to consider. Should we use more collaborative pairs, or should we pair two dominant students together? What about a more dominant student with a more passive one, or an expert with a novice? Research shows that collaborative pairs, where ideas are shared equally, and expert-novice pairs, where expert supports the novice, are the most effective. There is also the concept of viewing the group as a whole. If students develop trust and respect for one another, learning outcomes are far more likely to be achieved within a positive group dynamic. This can be done through generating a collective group narrative of their language learning vision by pooling individual stories through techniques such as newslettering, story sharing sessions, or creating a group chronicle. Also, modeling the vision through the teacher's own values, passions, and actions, and communicating the group vision using creative channels of communication such as vision boards or social media. Feedback. Feedback is crucial for supporting students' communicative success, but the best type of feedback depends on the context. A common form of feedback is initiation, response, feedback. The teacher says, "Who's this?" The student responds, "The alien, but she don't know yet." And the teacher says, "Don't? She doesn't know yet." Third person singular, don't forget. Doesn't, okay? Try again. This can be helpful on a grammar-focused task. But if it is a story-building task, for example, it might limit the safe speaking environment, and more general narrative feedback could be more helpful in that case. It is important to align feedback with the pedagogical goal. Quite counterintuitively, positive assessment like "very good" can actually inhibit speaking by allowing students to think they've done enough. Whereas feedback such as an invitation to elaborate can be more encouraging. In general, feedback that approaches the conversation with a sense of wonder helps students to open up and flourish. With that, research shows that students not only practice language when speaking, but learn it. I hope we have inspired you to make more time for it. Let us know how you get on in the comment section. You can find out more about creating a safe speaking environment in the Cambridge paper by Maggie Kombaniova. You'll find the link in this video description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.